Hey everyone, this is a demo and a tutorial for the SkinShader contained in my shader package, and I'm starting with this pretty simple scene again. A light, the soldier from the bootcamp demo, and the camera, of course. Right now he's shaded using the standard bombed specular. And as you all know, bombed specular doesn't really fit skin all that well. It's just not good for skin. And so I've done a skin shader. Right now you don't see any changes. If we want to switch again, and this is because I haven't defined all the things, but let's go through this really quick. The shader is done in multiple layers, as you can see, 3 of them. 1 is the one on the top and 3 is the lowest one. You can of course set for each layer the different settings like shininess and so on, of course the color of the specular lights, all that stuff. You can define different diffuse textures, I'll come to that later, and also different normal maps. I haven't prepared different normal maps for this demo right now, but I guess it's okay. So why doesn't it change? I haven't defined how to blend between those different layers. As you can see, you can set a texture, a blend map for the layers. So this one would define how to blend from layer 2 to 1 and vice versa, and you can adjust this by using this slider as well. And the same here, but this one is of course for layer 2 and 3. Let's do this. As you can see, now it changed. Let's have a quick look. It's getting a bit dark on the left side. And it already looks more like skin. So let's have a look at the other features. You can see you can set the thickness of layer 1 and 2, which basically means how much space is there between layer 1 and 2. This is the layer 1 thickness, and between layer 2 and 3. What it does is it's setting the spread of the light in between those layers, which makes it go around. Of course, a spread like this is completely nonsense because it's 1, and that would mean all the way around. That doesn't make any sense, so we want to set this a bit lower. And this is usually a good setup, something like this. Those values here are refractive indices. You don't have to change them if you don't know what they are. It doesn't matter, not really. Of course you can change them for something like, let's change to this one for 10, 210, sorry. As you can see right there, it's changing, but this is the default one, which is approximate skin refractive index, and it should work. So this one is the Gauss variance. As you can see, lower values spread the light more, and higher values give you more shadows. Usually I would recommend something in between 5 and 10. Of course you could choose really high values like 100, but the higher the value, the more it looks like plastic or metal or something like this. So I would recommend something, as I said, in between 5 and 10. And yeah, that's it. So what's this exit color map? It basically defines how is the light, or what's the color and the intensity of the light when it comes out of skin, right? Usually, because I'm faking subsurface scattering here, you have somewhere a light ray going beyond the surface, somewhere through there, and then it comes out again. And you can just set the color by defining a color map. Let's have a look at this. White, because I don't want these to be affected really, and yeah, The rest is just the standard diffuse texture, a bit blurred, because I don't want these bumps that are painted on there to be noticed as color. And a bit red, nothing special as you can see. And now let's have a look how the soldier is affected by that. We can have a look. This is without any color, and this is given the color. You can notice quite well on his lips. And if you have a look right there, it's getting way more red. Of course, the rest too, because it's not white, but as you can see, some skin-like color, and it's obviously darker. So yeah. It's changing also the intensity. If you think, okay, this is too dark, you can go over here and adjust that a bit. And let me change this. So what is this one? Of course, whenever the light wave goes through the surface and comes out somewhere else, it's going to be displaced. If you don't like the amount of displacement that it has, you can adjust that, as you can see right here. It it definitely changes. And I would say, okay, something like this should be okay, somewhere in the middle of this. And yeah, you can check that by just blending out the layer 1 and setting it to 2 and 3 only, because if you put this on the left and this in the middle, it's layer 2 and 3 only and no layer 1. That's how it works. Okay, so this is it. This is nothing so complicated. So now let's have a look compared to Bomb Specular. This is already looking more realistic, but let's play around with the two other layers a bit. I have prepared two different textures. One of this is this. Well, I haven't done that good of a texture work, but it's okay. It's simply a bloody layer, and then added some dots and something like this. And let's have a look how it's affected. As you can see right there, now I've put this bloody layer in there, and yeah, you can see it's getting it looks more like more fleshy, let's say it like this. So this is what you get with this. Of course, you can play around with that as much as you want. For example, I could also take this normal map and say, okay, well, please let him look like this. Of course, this wouldn't make any sense at all if I want him to look realistic, but it's definitely possible. In this case, I don't want it to be like that, so I put that one in there. Oh, I'm sorry, I chose the wrong one. Of course, I have to replace that, and this one goes into there. So let's blend them over, because obviously that is way too dark and it looks way too bloody. He looks like a zombie now. That's not the look that I want to achieve, and that's also not the look that I want to achieve right now. So let's change the blending amount and have a look at this. That looks good. Compared to this one again, this is the Bomb Specular and this is the SkinShader. And of course I could define a different map for blending. For example, just take the diffuse texture, which would make him look this. I would have to adjust the values a bit to get something like this. Then yeah, and this is the results that you can get with my SkinShader. I hope you like it, and bye.